Hey, what's up, world, and welcome to the 17th edition of the Take One podcast. I am your host, Chris, and today we'll be talking about a few things or whatever. Some stuff dropped out last week. I wanted to put this out last week, but some things happened. But I'm here right now, and I'm here to talk about it. And one of the things is what I put on the title is what I'm going to start off with today, and that is the Star Wars anthology film Rogue One. They just dropped their second official trailer last week. And my thoughts on it is that it looks freaking phenomenal. Now, I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I came out, Force Awakens really I thought it was okay, but ended up, watching it again and all this stuff, and I ended up liking it, and so now I'm kind of like, even from then, it was like I was more of curious of what they're going to do with the Star Wars franchise, because I wasn't alive when the first Star Wars films came out. I was a little kid when, the prequels came out, and I thought they were magnificent, but I was young, so don't judge me on that. And like now I can appreciate, what they're doing, and it seems like they're going in the right direction. Disney is doing wonders with what they got. They have a big strong team of just people working on all the different companies that they have, and Lucas is not, an exception of it. And it's like with The Force Awakens, if that is a telling of what they're going to do with these future films, not only the anthology films of the Han Solo and stuff, it's a telling of what they're going to do with episode 8, episode 9, and more than likely they're going to keep going with episode 10, 11, 12, so on and so forth. And so this trailer is kind of like a testament. Hopefully it is as good as the movie is as good as the trailers is, because the trailers, like I said, look freaking phenomenal. And I love the way that they make it look not totally CG, where it looks realistic. And in a sense, when you look at the CG compared in this trailer of Rogue One as compared to, the CG used, not the CG, but, the special effects used for the original trilogy, it looks similar. And with them making it look more similar to, the original trilogy, it makes it look more realer. So when you're looking at it, you can actually believe, like, if you came from, like, back in the day, do time travel, and you were to see this, you would think that those ships were real. You would think that this is really out in space, because they look so damn real. And one of the things that they said about this movie was that it was going to be a war film, because you get the title of Star Wars. And when you look at Star Wars, people hear that title and they just think of the movie, but you don't actually really think about it, that they have wars in there. That's part of the title, Star Wars. And even though like a lot of the movies say it's space battles and stuff like that, it didn't have like a total war feeling to it. So this one is going to take the route of actually being a war film, and it looks like a war film. It looks like a Saving Private Ryan type film, just modernized with, future technology. That's basically what it looks like. And just all the scenes, like, we got a little bit more of like the characters and kind of like what they're doing. We already knew what this movie was about, is that Felicity Jones's character is getting hired, I guess, with like with a crew to go get the Death Star plan so they can defeat the Death Star, destroy it, so that that will be one less powerful thing that the Empire can control. And so it looks freaking phenomenal. Forrest Whitaker, you see him up in there. He's talking at the beginning of the trailer, and his accent is kind of pretty cool. Like, Forrest Whitaker is like a good actor, so I know that he's gonna do phenomenal in this. And then even just the blind guy, I don't know who plays him or whatever, but just showing that one scene where he's basically kicking ass of all the stormtroopers, and he's blind, and it shows that he is in tune with the Force, that he uses the Force to fight and basically, just do what he needs to do. And just everything about this trailer is freaking phenomenal, and I love it. They're doing everything right with this. They're not showing too much, and they're not giving out too much. It's like, we got the first trailer and we got this. And in between that, they're not really giving out too much. I mean, more than likely, they're still working on it. There's not a whole bunch of secrecy behind it like it was in, The Force Awakens. So it's like they could give us a little bit more. They can give us more details about characters, about this and that, and, just stuff, what's going on in the movie. And that I kind of appreciate it, but at the same time, they're still doing really smart marketing, keeping us interested, but at the same time holding back a lot. That way they're not giving us too much, or as some people would say, blowing their whole load on, just giving us, a lot. And one of the things that we were told even before then was that, it was a lot of speculation. It was confirmed, like, I think about a month ago, that Darth Vader was in this film, and it's like, we already knew. This takes place in between, 3 and 4? Yeah, take place in between 3 and 4. And so it's like, Darth Vader was around then, so you're going to have Darth Vader. And plus, you're stealing plans from you're stealing the plans for the Death Star. Darth Vader, you're going to have him in there. So, that was a no-brainer. It wasn't even speculation. It was like, we just knew it. They just had to come out and confirmed it. They confirmed it. And so the first trailer, he wasn't in there. We think that he wasn't in there. Maybe he was in that room with, another person, and he was just a dark figure without the helmet. But this time at the end of the trailer, it ends off with the breathing, and it shows the back of his helmet. Which, that I really didn't get, because I get it's the build up hype for, Darth Vader. But at the same time, it's like, we already know what he looks like. We already know what he's about, who he is, really. Under the thing, we know his story and all that stuff and what's going to happen. So what was the point of doing it? I guess, in a sense, to make it a good trailer, to get the blood pumping for them, like Star Warriors or Star Warriors, or whatever you want to call the fans of Star Wars. But overall, I like the trailer. Matter of fact, I don't even just like the trailer. I love the trailer. I love what they did with it. I love what they're doing with the marketing of it. Hopefully, by the time they drop the third trailer, it ends up blowing this trailer out the water. And I feel like they can only go up from here, and I feel like this movie is going to be awesome. So, yeah. And those are my thoughts on the trailer review for Rogue One, the second trailer. And so, moving on to the next subject. And next, we're going to talk about that it's been released that, of course, they're making a Bad Boys 3. And, of course, they're going to make a Bad Boys 4, which I think that's kind of overkill. But it's not going to be called Bad Boys 3 anymore. And they also moved the date. Now, this title I kind of have I have a problem with, but I'm going to give my reasons for it. But they changed the title from being Bad Boys 3 to Bad Boys for Life. And so the date was pushed back, and it's not coming out next year. It's going to come out in 2018. So it was moved from, it was first supposed to come out in February, but then they moved it to June, and I think it was supposed to, it was going to go head to head with Wonder Woman. And so they ended up moving it back a little bit further to come out January 12th, 2018. And so with that, like I said, the title, I think that they should have kept it at Bad Boys 3. Because if they're going to Bad Boys 3, which I feel like they should just end it. You can have a thing with them retiring or something like that, and that can just end off the trilogy and just complete well, you know what I mean. They could just end it at all right there and right then and there. Oh my gosh, I'm just tripping over my words. They could just end it right then and there, and so they can just maybe come out, maybe reboot it afterwards, or I don't know, do a spin-off, or I don't know. But I feel like that should have been the end. But since they do have plans, but right now, plans could always change. They have plans to come out with a Bad Boys 4, but they can always be like, you know what, we're going to end it with Bad Boys 3, or they can do the Harry Potter, Hunger Games, go the Hunger Games route, where they could split 3 into 2 parts or something. Hopefully they don't do that, but anything is, they can do anything with it. But at the same time, I feel like, if they needed to push it back to kind of work on some stuff or make sure that everything works out with whatever the actors or the directors they got for it, the writers, and trying to fix up everything to make this a great film. I hope that they do it because I really enjoyed the first film. Like, I literally want to do a movie review on that because I love that movie so much. I believe I saw that in theater. Yeah, actually I did. I saw it in theaters when I was younger, and I loved that movie then, and I love it now. And I did like the second one. I mean, the second one was actually pretty good. Like, even though I know a lot of people didn't like it as good as the first one, I thought it was like pretty decent. And I still like it. And so this one, I have total faith that they're going to make this. And hopefully I'm right. Hopefully I'm right with like believing in that they're going to do this right. And that they are going to do it right. So I'm looking forward to it. But if they have to push it back to work on it to make sure that it is a great movie, just go ahead and do it. I mean, we can wait. It's not like a, film like people are just waiting for, like, oh my God, I want this to come out now. But it's a movie that we can wait on. It's a movie that's been out of our minds for years. Because I don't even know when the last one came out. That came out in like the maybe early 2000s or something like that. Or, but it came out a good little minute ago. So it's been out of people's minds for a minute. So they can't go wrong with like waiting a little bit more time. So, and then, like I said, with the title, I don't know, like Bad Boys for Life. I feel like that was kind of like the wrong title, especially if you're bringing out a part 4, because that stands right there. You can call this Bad Boys 3 such and such. Give it a subtitle or something to that, or just call it Bad Boys 3. And then from that, you can call Bad Boys 4 the number 4 Life. I mean, because like more than likely, if you're going to end it off like that, that's basically saying this is the end, So if you're going to call Bad Boys 3 Bad Boys for Life, you're basically saying that that's the end. I mean, that sounds like an ending title. It doesn't sound like a part 3 and then you're going to come out with another one. It sounds like an ending title. So I think that they should keep Bad Boys 3 as Bad Boys 3 or Bad Boys 3 fighting Russia or something like that. And then have Bad Boys 4 be called Bad Boys number 4 Life. And that makes total sense. I mean, it writes itself. I mean, like that, I will be behind. But as far as Bad Boys 3 being called Bad Boys for Life, it's like, but then it's like, what you're going to call Bad Boys for? It's like, what is it just going to be called Bad Boys? You just have a subtitle under it. So, I don't know. I just don't like the title for Bad Boys for Life. But I'm right behind them pushing it back just in case they have to get, just for the fact that if they have to get certain stuff in order to make this movie good, and if they have to do that, and that's the purpose or the reasoning behind it, I'm so behind them doing that. And hopefully that when this movie finally comes out, that it actually is pretty good. And so I'm just kind of worried about the whole, the dates that they putting it at, because a lot of people, I mean, because like when you think about it, like a lot of the trash movies are thrown in, the beginning of the year in September and stuff, kind of like when everything kind of slows down, or, just beginning. So everything is revved up, and then you got the summer season where all the big movies happen and all that stuff. And so it started off being put out in February. So it's like, that's kind of like a dead season for movies, but then it was pushed to June. So it was like, okay, yeah, that's in the summer season because this is a big action film. I mean, the second one was, even the first one was. And so they pushed it back to January. So it was like, okay, you pushed it even a little bit further back than it was before, a month back, so I don't know. But I mean, that's just me being worried about it. So hopefully they end up changing the date and put it in the summer season, and it does good, and it's a great movie. So I don't know. But yeah, and so as of course, Martin and Will Smith are going to be reprising their roles, and they have they're trying to get, or I believe that they do have the writer-director Joe Carnahan, and he's been behind movies like The Gray, Smoking Aces, and The A-Team, and he kind of right now he's like has a lot of obligations to different things. He was like he wrote the what is it? He's like doing like the promotional stuff for like Suicide Squad, and he's shooting another film with David Ayer. So, I mean, you can say that's part of the reason why, why it's being pushed back. But, it's whatever. And just to put it out there, Bad Boys 4, which should be Bad Boys for Life, is coming out in July July 3rd, 2019. So, yeah, I just can't wait till those movies come out, and hopefully they're doing good. And so, moving on to the next subject. And so, just to warn y'all that these next topics are going to be a DC centric. You know, they're going to be, it's a lot of stuff that came out about DC from the shows and the movies that I'm going to talk about or whatever. And this next one is that I'm going to be talking about one thing that I've been wanting to see more of, and that's Gorilla Grodd in the Flash TV series. Now, if you haven't watched the Flash TV series, I've said it in a prior podcast, check it out. Watch it. It is phenomenal. I love it. And it's really good. You would not regret it. Especially if you love comic book movies, you would love this show. And if you love comic book movies, why aren't you watching this show? Anyway, but yeah, Gorilla Grodd is a villain of the Flash, and he's a big gorilla who has telekinesis. Not telekinesis. He's a telepath, and I believe he does have telekinesis. I don't know. I'm not a big comic book guy, so I only know what is put in front of me from what people tell me to the movies and TV shows and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, Gorilla Grodd is a character to where it's like he can go against the Flash. He's a huge gorilla. Very strong, of course. He's a freaking gorilla. And he's like bigger than most, and he can go head to head with the Flash, the fastest man on Earth, or as prior seasons told, that not the fastest man on Earth, or at least for a little while until he has a race at the end and he beats the Speedster. I mean, spoiler, but it's whatever. But in any case, that's basically what he can do. He's a telepath. He's a telepathic gorilla, and may or may not have telekinesis, I don't know, but he's very strong, and he can go head to head with the Flash. And that's what I like about this villain, is that he is a gorilla, but he's also smart. He's intelligent. And so I wanted to see more of him, because they've had him like not even a handful of times between season 1 and season 2. And then in season 2, we got that he was put on, I believe, a different Earth, and he's going to create Gorilla City. And they have confirmed, well, the people behind Flash have confirmed that Gorilla Grodd will be the ruler of Gorilla City, and Gorilla City will be in Flash Season 3. And I cannot wait to see that. And so also along with that, they said it's going to be 2 other big villains in there. I mean, of course you have like Dr. Alchemy. I don't know who the hell that is. Maybe y'all can write down in the comment section below and let me know who it is. I might do some research on them. But also, the other villain is, at first was said to be, the Black Racer. I believe I had said before, the Black Racer. That was my first time hearing about him, like when I did that podcast. And so now it's been confirmed that he is the Speedster Surveyor. I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm bad with pronouncing names and stuff like that. But yeah, and so it's been basically, those are like 2 of the big bads within, the Flash Season 3. But it's unclear on whether they're just going to be primarily, during the Flashpoint, because even Grant Gustin came out and said that it's not going to last as long as people think that it's going to last. So that's got me curious to, how long is it going to last? Is it going to be half the season, or, whatever? But it's like, is he going to be half, are they going to be just in the Flashpoint era, or are they going to be post Flashpoint? So it kind of like, it's unclear to see right now. But as far as Gorilla Grodd, I am freaking ecstatic that they're bringing him back, and hopefully he is in more of the season than just what they had him in before, because if he has Gorilla City, then hell, I'm all for it. And so moving on to the next subject is something else from DC. Now, David Ayer has came out and said, which it's just something that we've already knew, that basically is who killed Robin. He confirmed it. And so he basically came out and gave out details about it, and, and this and that. And so, like I said, we already know it just from watching Batman v Superman, from just even the trailers beforehand. And so he came out and said that Harley basically is claiming responsibility for what Joker did. Joker killed Robin, which is Jason Todd or whatever, and I believe that Harley Quinn had a helping hand in it as well, but Harley took the rap for it, and Joker was able to, be free or whatever the hell, and but at the same time, that's the reason why Joker is wearing his grill, which this is stuff that we already knew. Just like the whole Darth Vader thing being in Rogue One, we already knew that. This is stuff that we already knew. We just had to come out and, they just had to come out and confirm it. And the only thing that I would say that people didn't know is Harley Quinn's involvement in it. We knew that, she's with the Joker, so more than likely she has some type of involvement in it. But now it's confirmed what her involvement in it was. And so, yeah, so that's the reason why Joker is wearing his grill, is because after it happened, Batman knocked his teeth out. Basically just broke through his, just knocked his teeth out. And so he put him in Arkham Asylum after that. And that's basically where he said, David Ayer said that Joker got his damage tattoo, is basically like a message to Batman saying that you messed up my beautiful face, or, basically you messed up my beautiful face and now I'm damaged. And, and just basically that's where it all came from. So, to me, that's, that's a decent story. And from what I hear, that's what happened in the comic book. So, it's kind of like hand in hand. It goes, this is stuff that we already knew. It's just now it's confirmed that this is, I guess you could say, canon within the cinematic universe. And so, yeah. And I like the story. It's pretty decent. I wish that they would go further into it, especially with the Batman, movie that's coming out, whenever it's coming out, and just Justice League. I hope, Justice League, they're more than likely not going to talk too much about the Joker. The Joker is not going to be in Justice League. They got bigger fish to fry. But hopefully in the Batman movie, it comes out more about what's happening. And then we hearing that they're coming out with a Harley Quinn movie, and I don't know if it's actually confirmed. I doubt if it's actually confirmed that this is going to happen, but I could be wrong. I saw something that I guess is supposed to be coming out in 2019. So if that is the issue with it, not the issue, but if that is what's right, then hopefully they're going to get more into it when that movie come out, or even beforehand, because more than likely the Batman movie is going to come out before then. But whatever, I hope they get more into the story, which they should, because everybody wants to know, everybody wants to see it, everybody wants to, everybody wants some, just like the movie, everybody wants some. So yeah, and so moving on to the next subject, and this next part is my quick takes. And I'm just going to run through little things or whatever, and, just basically, give my quick thoughts on these subjects or whatnot. And the first subject of quick takes is the Flash Dark Speedster reveal, which I already said is the Salivator, or have you pronounced it? Y'all can write it down in the comments, yell at me, write it down in the comment section and yell at me or whatever. I don't care. But from what I got is that he's a cult leader, and that what he does is that he steals Speedster's speed and gives to his followers, and he basically wants to create a army of Speedsters, which it's like, I don't know, to me that sounds cool. That sounds cool enough. I ain't even going front. It sounds cool that he's stealing the speed for a reason. But at the same time, when you get to the bare bones of it, if you've seen Flash season 1 and 2, that's basically what everybody is trying to do. It's trying to steal speed. You got the Reverse Flash in the first season was trying to steal Barry's speed. In the second season, what is it? What was his name? Zoom. Zoom was trying to steal Barry's speed. It's the same thing over and over. And so a lot of people love the Flash, but that is a issue that a lot of people have, is that, it's kind of like the same recurring themes, that the first one, the ultimate villain was a speedster, and, whatever. And then the second one, the second season, that the ultimate villain was a speedster. And then this one is like the ultimate villain is supposed to be a speedster. And so now it's like it's a reoccurring thing. The first one had, both speedsters going against each other for each other's speed or whatever. And then the second one ended kind of like the same way. And now this one more than likely is going in the same way. And then they have the same theme. So I hope they try and do something different with this. I hope that it's more to just, having races and stealing speed in this third season than anything else. I just hope that it's more. But in any case, moving on to the next subject in the quick takes is that Justice League gets its metallic logo, and it's basically been said that it's Zack Ryder's wow, I'm thinking about WWE. Zack Snyder's own design for just the Justice League. So obviously, like, the Justice League logo is his own design, and so now it's the same logo, but it has a metallic look. And I have to say, like, it was like the first time that the logo was put out, I liked it. It was plain, it was good or whatever. I had no problems with it. I mean, it was Justice League, so it's like, it don't have to be fancy. And so this metallic look, I have no problems with this either. I mean, it's a good look for it. It's basically the same lettering, the same way, it's just metallic now. And I have no problems with it. Like, it looks good. And I'm more than likely going to go through a few more changes before the movie comes out and, add a little bit more to it or whatnot, just like they did with the Suicide Squad logo and stuff like that. So, hopefully, they don't really even need to change it. But if they do it, hopefully it's something more... Hopefully they go for like something better, and not saying they're going for something better that this is like not good, because I just said I liked it, but if they do end up changing it, it'd be better, so I liked it. There's nothing more to say about it. And so moving on to the next subject in quick takes, this kind of has like it's not really DC, but it has to relate to DC in the sense that Jason Momoa is considered for the Crow reboot, playing the Crow. And so I like, when I heard this, I'm like, I can see it. I haven't seen, like, when last time I seen the Crow was when I was younger, and even then I really didn't care for it, so I don't even believe that I saw the whole movie. I saw like bits and pieces of it. I knew of its existence, and I've seen bits and parts of it, so I know the iconic character that the Crow is. And seeing that they're considering, Jason Momoa, and it hasn't been put down that, like, he is the Crow for the reboot and all this stuff. But I can see it, if he is considered and confirmed, well, if he is confirmed to play the Crow, I think that would be awesome, because Jason Momoa seems like he's about to become a huge star. We don't know how he is. Like, I need to start, watching more episodes in, Game of Thrones, and I believe he's on another show. So I don't really know. I'm not really too familiar with his acting. But obviously he must be doing something right if he's landing roles in Justice League and he's, being considered for, the Crow. So hopefully, like, this is the beginning of it. Hopefully he kills Justice League. Hopefully he kills it in, Justice League 2. Hopefully he kills it in Aquaman. Hopefully if he's like, confirmed for this, hopefully he kills it in this, and he ends up becoming the next big movie star, because he actually has the look. And I will be wanting to see this movie if he is actually confirmed in it. And so Jason Momoa put on his I think it was his Instagram, saying that the only way to seal the deal as men is a pint of black beauty. And Momoa posted this on his Instagram, and right next to the director of the Crow reboot, Corbin Hardy. And so, I don't know, maybe it is confirmed, maybe it's not, but as of yet, it's kind of like in the air that maybe, we're talking, but, whatever. And so right now it has no release date. More than likely, I don't even know if they have like a script for it. Maybe they have drafts, but I don't know. But in any case, moving on to the next quick take. And this is just not, this ain't nothing confirmed. This is something that I believe that Ezra Miller, who is playing the live action Flash within the movie universe, this is something that he wants to happen. Now, more than likely, it's not going to happen at all. If it does, then, whatever. But DC has already said that their universes from the TV and the cinematic is not going to connect. It has no connection. But the thing is like, you're dealing with the Flash, who's dealing with alternate timelines and alternate Earths, dimensions, and all that stuff. So it's not possible. It's not out of reality. Even in Marvel, it's not a possibility. It's not it's not impossible that the X-Men universe and the MCU universe, the Fox universe, I guess you could say, and the MCU universe can't connect, because you got people that can go to different dimensions, being Doctor Strange. And so with the Flash, you have this element to where he can cross over into like the TV version, and the Flash from TV version can cross over to the movie universe, which that would be too messy. I don't think they're going to do it. I have no faith in at all that they're going to do it. Even hint at it. Even have like a little quick scene where the Flash is going through a portal and you see Grant Gustin's Flash. I don't even think they're going to do anything like that, or vice versa. But Ezra Miller has said that Grant Gustin is a boss, and I can't wait to see him eye to eye adrift in the Speed Force. Our eyes will lock. In that moment, we both know the truth. What truth? I dare not say. And it's like, I think that's just something that he's playing around with, just to get, fans riled up that want to see this. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think that was just something he was just putting out there to get, everything hyped around DC, since DC has a lot of hype around it, even from positive or negative. They have a lot of hype. Like within these past months, this is what people have been talking about, is just DC, 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 DC. So, I mean, this is something to add more fuel to the fire or whatever. So, and that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. But, yeah, moving on to the next quick take. And the last quick take of this episode is that the rumor that Wonder Woman is a mess. Now, I'm not going to talk too much on this because there's a lot to say about this. But you guys know how I feel about the DC movies so far. It's like, to me, they've kind of like took a step down with each movie, and that's just with me. I love Man of Steel. They took a step down with Batman v Superman, and in my opinion, they took a step down with Suicide Squad. Even though other people might put Suicide Squad above Batman v Superman, it's whatever. But don't take that as me just going after DC, just like the critics, or what people think the critics are doing, just going after DC movies, just wanting to hate them. But it's like, I don't believe this. I don't want to believe it, because I want to believe that at least Wonder Woman should be a great movie. If not, it should be a good movie. It should be better than Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad to me. And that's just my opinion. Like, I don't want to believe that all this stuff to come out, because it's just rumors. And I believe it was somebody from Reddit or whatever. It's just something out there. It hasn't been confirmed, or whatever. DC or Warner Bros. Haven't came out and said that, which I don't know if they would, but it's whatever, saying that an unknown source had wrote a letter to Kevin Tsukahara, and that's the CEO of DC, Warner Brothers, and all that stuff, and saying that, just basically talking about the bad line of Warner Brothers movies that's been coming out lately. Even though Warner Brothers have been doing good, they've had movies like Pan and Batman v Superman and stuff like that have done critically bad, and then some of them have done financially bad. And then they're talking about how Suicide Squad is the last straw, and just the public perception of it from the critics to the fans and stuff like that, and how Zack Snyder is constantly giving chance after just kind of like messing up with the movies, and just leaving his stink on the movies. I ain't gonna say that, because I don't know the guy personally, but I believe that he's doing his best, but in a sense, so I don't know, like, to me, until we see Wonder Woman and it is a mess, I can't believe this. I can't believe it. I want to believe that Wonder Woman is good. And it's just, like I said, this is just a rumor, so this isn't nothing that's been confirmed or just set in stone. So I don't know, you're gonna hear stuff like this. This is probably somebody that is a DC hater that comes out and put out this information, this rumor, and have it circulated around the web or whatever. And it's just, don't believe everything. Just don't believe everything. And it's like, even though I had like bad reviews for Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad, it's like, I choose not to believe this. I really don't. It's whatever. And so that wraps up quick takes. And so I'm going to end off this podcast with a kind of a spoiler review. I was going to do one, like I said, I was going to start doing my spoiler reviews in a podcast form. And as of now, you guys could check out the Suicide Squad spoiler review in my, my new podcast, the Take One Spoiler Cast. And that's what I'm going to start doing my reviews, my spoiler reviews on. And I was going to do this in there, but it's not really too much to talk about. It's certain stuff I didn't get on within my, Sausage Party review that I kind of want to talk a little bit more about. So this will be spoiler free, and I put this at the end because it is a spoiler. So if you haven't seen Sausage Party yet, and you have plans on seeing it, which I really believe that you should, go check out my non-spoiler review on my page. The description, the link is in the description below. Go check that out first and, go see the movie and then come back to this part of the podcast. But I'm not going to make this too long. I'm just going to mention a few things or whatever and certain things that I liked about it. And it was a lot to like about this movie. And so there's your spoiler warning in 5, 4, 3, 2. And Sausage Party, this movie was fucking phenomenal. It was actually pretty good. And I said it in my review, and I've said it before, how, comedies don't really grab me. Every now and then it might be a comedy that catches my interest. And this was one of them. And so me seeing this, I'm like, I'm definitely going to see this. From the first trailer, I was laughing my ass off. And so going into this movie, it was somewhat, I guess you could say, not what I was expecting. But at the same time, like I said in my initial review, I wasn't really laughing throughout this movie. It was certain jokes that they said and, just this and that and certain things that was done. But I just found myself just kind of looking. It wasn't funny. But at the same time, even though I didn't find it funny, like I said, I was in a packed theater. And everybody was laughing their asses off, just laughing hysterically. And it's it was entertaining. I just based it off of that. Even though I didn't laugh, was I entertained? And I was entertained. This movie was good. From beginning to end, it was a good movie. And a lot of the scenes, that it goes balls to the wall. It literally goes beyond what you think it is. And it's a lot of cursing. And one of the scenes that I do like is that they have the scene up in the trailer where you see where the mustard, he basically ends up, coming back to the store after seeing what's being done to food. And he tries to tell people, and he just kind of closed up. He don't really want to speak about it, but he want to warn people. And so he ends up getting picked up again. And so he, after seeing what was being done, he ends up basically, committing suicide by jumping out the cart. And by doing that, other food was holding on, trying to holding on to the wiener dog, or, holding on to the hot dog and the bun and trying to do that. And so in doing that, a lot of the food fell out. And so everything was crashing on the floor. You got flour everywhere. You got Oreos. You got cans of spaghetti and all this stuff on the ground. And it's it looks like a murder scene. You got Jelly, who's cracked open and she's kind of splattered all the ground, and peanut butter is sitting there like it's blood, like he just said that his wife died. And you got flour everywhere, like I said. And then you have the Oreos, who's missing his back, and it's somebody who's missing an arm, and they're just kind of stunned, don't know what the hell's going on, and they just pick it up. And it was a crazy ass scene, just crazy. And I feel like that scene was done so good, just how they executed it. And just going into it, I thought that this movie was going to take place within within the home. I thought it was going to take place in the supermarket, but then they were going to take it home, but that wasn't the case. And so with that, I thought, I don't know, I guess if you look at the trailer again, you can kind of see that it doesn't take place in the home. But, I mean, in a sense, you kind of get that feeling. But to me, it's when you look at the trailer, that's the only thing that you're really focused on, is that scene where the food actually, sees what's happening, that they're not going to be treated right by humans, that they're going to be eaten. And so that scene still in the theater, watching it, it was still kind of still as good as it was seeing it in the trailer. And one of the things that I actually wanted to get on, and like I said, I'm not going to make this too long, and I wanted to talk more about, was the ending scene. This scene was the scene that I could say I laughed my ass off. Not, it's they break out into an orgy, a food orgy. This was like something where I know when they thought about this, they like, oh my God, this is such a good idea. And they started like just throwing spitballing, this and that should happen, this should happen. And then you get the burrito or whatever, like not raping, freaking like having sex. Basically he's gay and he's having sex with the bagel, and then you get the hot dog having sex with the bun, and it's just like an orgy of stuff going on. And then the taco eating out the bun. It's crazy, like that whole scene. I believe that went on for like it seemed like it went on for 10 minutes. It was a non-stop joke, and it went on, and it was still good as it went on. It didn't go on for a little bit and then stop. It was like almost every single thing that happened, it was like, what the hell is going on? Like, this is nuts. Like, this is something that you would not expect to happen. Especially, because given this is an R-rated film, not for kids at all. For some reason, someone thought it was a good idea. Because I went to a early screening. Someone thought it was a good idea to bring their child to this movie. And I'm just like, why? And as I'm watching it, I'm thinking about it, because I saw them walking with their child, and the child had to be about my son's age, like about 5 or 6 or something like that. And so she's walking around with her, and I'm like, why are you bringing your child here? And so as I'm watching the movie, I kind of like, go back and forth to thinking about, the mother and her child. And I'm just like, why? Like, they're talking about sex, they're talking about touching tips, they're talking about doing this, and then the last scene with the orgy, it's like, how do you cover your kids' eyes like with that? And you have to cover their ears too. It's like, how do you explain a scene like that to your child? That's something I couldn't dream of, taking my son to go anything to go see. If I don't have a babysitter, I'm not gonna go. If I don't have a babysitter for my son, I am not gonna go. And just that scene was just ultimately just crazy. And if you guys, haven't seen it and you're listening to this, which I don't know for what reason, but you don't care about spoilers, go check it out. I don't do it justice. Go see it. If you want to see it, go see it. I'm telling you, it's freaking phenomenal. For those who've seen it, knows how crazy it is and knows how funny that scene is. But yeah. And so that ends my kind of quick spoiler review of Sausage Party. And so with that said, I'd like to thank you guys for listening to this podcast, the 17th edition of the Take One podcast. To be more specific, go ahead and give a like to this video, share it with your friends and all this stuff. Leave a comment down in the comment section below of your thoughts of what I was talking about today, and whether you disagree or agree, or just you want to give your opinion on something, just go ahead, as well as subscribe to my YouTube channel and everything that I'm going to be doing. I've put out, you can go ahead and check out my spoiler review of Suicide Squad, as well as the non-spoiler review of it. You can go ahead and check out my review of the Sausage Party. And you can check out my other podcast and everything else that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be putting out a Stranger Things review, as well as this show on Netflix called Slasher. I'm going to be putting out both of those reviews later on this week. So go ahead and look out for that, as well as other movie reviews. Certain movie reviews I needed to catch up on. I got a Captain America Civil War review coming out. X-Men Apocalypse review coming out, and all that good stuff. So just keep an eye out for that, and I will be putting out more stuff as the weeks go by. And I'm trying to not slack and put out like one video a week, or miss a week where I don't put out anything. I'm trying to put out more stuff, even if it's just a podcast, but I'm trying to put out more than a podcast. So yeah, just go ahead and subscribe, and even turn on your notifications. That way when I put out something new, you'll be alerted to it. Let me know how you think. Let me know what you think about the podcast. Tell me what you like about it, what you don't like about it. Just anything. Just let me know. And just keep an eye out for everything else that I'm going to be doing. Like I said, and also you can follow me on social media, from Facebook, Twitter, and all the good stuff. Everything is in the link in the description below. So with that said, I think that's about it. Until the next time I see you guys on episode 18. Yes, this has been the Take One podcast, and I will catch you guys later. Until next time.